Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into this video. I'm sharing with you my December daily as promised. So this is day one, it's the 1st of December today. So to everyone who has been around for a little while, thank you first and foremost. You'll probably have a bit of an idea of what's going on because you may or may not have seen my 2019 uploads. So what I will be doing is uploading every single day in December, sharing with you my journaling process for December daily. So the first thing I'm going to do is this waxed paper, and I've got this candle I just kind of briefly showed you. It's a Yankee candle, it's Christmas cookie scent. My daughter actually gave it to me as an early Christmas present. So I wanted to create some wax paper from it and actually have a little bit of that fragrance in my journal because it's really nice of her to give that as a gift. So the journaling here is just basically describing what the candle is, why the candle has come about, why it's a thing. So I apologise for the wearing, I'm going to put it here. I've been trying to do this voiceover all night. The wearing of the computer is driving me crazy. I can't seem to get around it. I can't get past a minute before it starts getting crazy. So I just apologise for it. I'll have to look into an alternative to fix it, but I really want to get this video out today, so I'm just going to have to grin and bear it. So again, apologies. So here's a wax card. I've not added it into today's entry per se because it's just an additional piece that I wanted to include. So my entry today is kept really simple. These two images here are of the advent calendars that we have. So I've got my advent calendar, which is the Yankee Candle one, and the kids one, which is this one here. And I crocheted this a few years ago and I refill it every year. So I might have mentioned previously, or I have mentioned previously, you might have heard previously, that I don't plan to do any actual physical writing in this book. I'm going to try doing my text in strips. Now, looking at these strips, they're fine, they're okay, I can live with it, I can cope, but if I'd have thought about it properly, I'd have cut the text into thinner strips and I would have laid them a little bit closer together, so perhaps touching on the page, which I probably do going forward, but just as like a little FYI, if you're wanting to do the text in strips, I think it will look better with thinner strips and the text a bit closer together. But I mean, I'm happy with it, and this is the idea of the whole, it's a process, we're learning here, learning as we're going along. So I just wanted to put these photos in. Not a great deal's happened today. It's a regular Tuesday, I've been doing work, so you know, it's not anything really to journal about. So I am just finding an image, finding something to ground these two images of the advent calendar so they're not just kind of floating on the page. And I eventually went with this doily, just to layer underneath, just to kind of pop out between them. Obviously we're going to have text either side, so I mentioned previously about text, so that's going to cover like the top and bottom corners as well, so it will make this page pretty full. And I wanted to sew around these images just to give them a bit of a border. I did toy with the idea of just kind of drawing around them with a black pen. Because I had a doily underneath the images, the black pen, the line might have been a bit broken up and it might not have looked great. And if you did see my previous year's December daily junk journal, you'll probably, or you may have noticed, my style has changed slightly. I'm trying something a little bit new this year. I'm going for a bit more of a retro vibe. It's not strictly retro, obviously. Well, I don't think anyway, but that's the kind of what I'm being drawn to this year. So I'm going for a bit more of that sort of typewritery font and, you know, just kind of bringing it forward a little bit from the vintage, like the full heavy vintage that I did last year. And I like that and go for that if that's what your vibe is, but I just wanted to do something different. If I have a little go, maybe next year I'll switch back or I'll change it up, you know, completely again. The whole point of crafting really is to try these different things we like, and then going forward I'd like to just incorporate everything I like from each different sort of style and kind of create my own style, you know, that works for me. And I've always maintained when it comes to anything, the house, journaling, any type of craft, my style is whatever I dislike, and that sounds completely bizarre. If you know, you know, it's kind of that sort of thing that I'm going with. When I talk to people about it and I explain to people about it, they seem to kind of get where I'm coming from. My style is things I like. So like even with homewares, they don't all necessarily follow a particular theme, but they all work in my house because I like all of them. Does that make sense? So the idea with my journaling is that I just kind of put into my book all the things that I like, and it just works because I just like looking at them all. It's as simple as that. So I've stuck these images on top and bottom, and I added a little bit of holly because the stitching wasn't too great in that top corner, so it kind of hides that a little bit. And as I said before, the text I would have done smaller. I wasn't overjoyed that the text was overlapping the images. Again, it's not the end of the world. I can cope with it, but you know, given the option to go back and redo it, I probably would. And make the text smaller and make the strips thinner. So obviously heading into the second, third, fourth, and so on, I will be doing that. I'll also be doing some text on my typewriter. I'll be doing some, you know, some text in probably not any different way actually. I'm not going to write any. I'll do some text on my typewriter. I may do some sort of big words and things with my Cricut. There may be a day that journaling isn't really required. Maybe when I do like a Christmas playlist. Obviously there's no point in journaling about that. It is what it is. So, oh, here's a little trick as well. Where I have glue on the front of the text, I kind of just rubbed over it with my jumper, and my jumper's black, which is helpful because then it kind of picks up the sort of, you know, the little fibres from your jumper, and it sticks to the glue and it highlights them. So then you just take an eraser and just rub them out. So then you don't have all the sticky, your pages don't end up sticking together. It's, you know, nice and neat that way. So obviously if you do it with a light colour jumper, it's equally as fine. You just have to rub over all of the text to make sure that you've got it all. And I had this little foiled sticker, it says Warm Wishes, and I thought that was kind of fitting with my Yankee Candle advent image there. And the little house, oh, I was so chuffing myself. You know, one of those moments where you're like, yeah, I'm winning. That's like a brilliant idea, go me. I have this little ceramic house. I'm pretty sure it's from the pound shop or somewhere like that. And it's just for tea light candles. It's nothing fancy. And I just added a little wreath to it. And I just thought, oh, I love it. It's just perfect. It looks fabulous. So yeah, that's my little house. So you do get a little tea light holder with the advent calendar, but I obviously wanted to use my little house because it's really cool. So top left here is some parchment paper. I did this a while ago. I did the 12 Days of Christmas, and I wanted to add that in on this page because it just kind of resonated the first day of Christmas, and to me the first day of December is the first day of Christmas. So I've added those in there. It's purely decorative, and I put that little house on there because it's the advent calendar, my little house there, and it just, I've been at home today, excuse me, I've been at home today, my voice is going, and I've, you know, I've done my orange slices that you saw at the beginning of this video. I baked those with some cinnamon on. The house smells divine. So the house kind of again resonates with me for today. I'm adding my number one, and you might have just seen it slightly off camera here, that I had it overlapping the text, so the second line up from the bottom. I had and at the beginning, and it kind of read well without the and, so I just peeled it up a little bit and cut the and off because I didn't want the number one completely overlapping the word. It just kind of looked wrong, so I'm gluing that down. You can see it sits there now. It sits there nicely because there's no and anymore. It's been sacrificed. So this is the spread. And I hope you enjoyed this. It's been a bit of a haphazard video. I promise it will be better going forward. So stay tuned. I will see you again tomorrow. Merry 1st December. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Speak to you again tomorrow.